many of us are calling out for much drier weather. Are there any signs for something drier on the horizon? Well, yes, but they're not especially strong, and even if it does happen, it might not last especially long either. Let's go through. So here's the big picture for the UK for the next few days. So we have low pressure, like we've often seen through recent weeks, around the west or southwest of the UK. So system rain coming up and pushing its way northeastwards. Parts of the southwest have borne the brunt of the rain through recent weeks or so, and there's more wet weather at times through into next week as well. I think it's fair to say this weekend's going to be a bit changeable in as much as there will be some dry, there will be some bright weather at times, but there will also be outbreaks of rain. Most of us will see some rain at times. Some glimmers of sunshine in the southeast early on Saturday, and some sunshine towards the northwest. But there will also be a fair amount of cloud, and there will be outbreaks of rain. Then as we go through into Sunday, perhaps a drier day compared to Saturday, but I'm clutching at straws a little bit because there is then going to be another front coming in, and that's going to bring some cloud, some rain as well. But it's then this weather towards the southwest that then comes in and makes its way across parts of the southwest initially as we go into the beginning of next week. So some more persistent rain. Now it's not looking especially heavy, but we could see 20, 30, maybe 40 or 50 millimetres of rain building up as we go through Monday and into Tuesday, which is why we have already issued a warning across parts of the southwest for the rain. Now those kind of rainfall totals, they're not especially high for the time of year, and for this kind of lead time, we ordinarily wouldn't be issuing a rain warning for those kind of totals. But because of the flooding that we saw earlier on this week with Storm Chandra, because the ground is so saturated, because we've had so much rain through January in many of these spots, we're likely to see some further issues as a result of this wet weather that's coming through. But the question is, are there signs of something drier? And there are some tentative signs. What can I show you? Well, let's look at some ECMWF anomaly plots for our pressure setup. So this is the pressure setup for next week, so Monday the 2nd to Monday the 9th of February. And this shows higher than average pressure around Scandinavia, so the blocking high over Scandinavia, which we've actually seen for quite a while. And it's this that's been shifting everything, keeping the storm track a little bit further south. And so that's why we've had low pressure centres coming more towards the southwest of the UK and then edging a little bit further north. They just can't make too much progress across more towards the east-northeast because of that blocking high. But if we dart along a week, and you can see there are signs that we're going to see that high pressure retrogressing back a little bit more away from Scandinavia and towards Greenland instead. And why is that important? Well, that actually can then shift a bit further south the picture for the UK in terms of the pressure setup. And so that would suggest that we're more likely, as we go through the next week, so Monday the 9th to Monday the 16th of February, more likely to see our low pressure systems just travelling a little bit further south than they have been recently. So less affecting the UK, not totally not affecting the UK, just a little bit less affecting us. And when I say that, let's look at, let's dart ahead. So if we go to, say, at the moment, these are our most likely setups. I need to pause it. So for back end of next week, a week's time, still going with quite wet, unsettled weather coming in from the southwest. But if we dart along to the following week, this maybe won't show what I was quite hoping for. Let's just go back. There we go. So for next week, or through this weekend and into next week, quite a wet picture looks quite likely, with the high pressure towards Scandinavia, wetter weather still coming in for western, southwestern parts at times. And that's really the theme as we go through next week. So it is still going to be wet. And so we are probably still going to see some further ongoing issues as a result of the wetter weather. But if we go along to the following week, and with the high pressure more towards Greenland instead, whilst there will still be some wet weather around and southern parts are more likely to see that rain, it's likely to be a little bit drier further north. This is our forecast rainfall for each day. If I change it to the anomaly chart for rainfall, you can see northern parts are likely to have some drier than average weather as we go through that second week of February. Towards the south, it looks just around average, maybe a little bit above to some places. So there are some signs that we could see something a little bit drier, particularly towards the north. But it doesn't look like it will last particularly long. If we look even further ahead as we go deeper into February, it looks like we'd see the return of this slightly south-shifted mobility will push a little bit further north again. So we'll kind of see a repeat of what we've had through much of January, really. And then it's later on when any influence of an SSW would be, like we say, towards the end of the month. And so we don't need to worry about that one just yet. One thing just to highlight, though, is when it comes to this pressure setup, if we go to the week after next, so 9th to the 16th, and with this position, then that would allow for more of an easterly. So we could see the winds coming in from the east, and so that is going to bring something a bit colder. We're not talking, this isn't the SSW like we mentioned, but we could see a drop in our temperatures. So it's likely to get a little bit colder. There will be some winteriness as we go through that second week of February, and it's kind of going to be a combination of two things. We could see some wintry showers coming in from the east, and also any low pressure systems that do track, although they're tracking further south than what we see at the moment, any low pressure systems that do track that little bit further north and hit against that colder air, well, that could bring some sleet and snow as well.